Sports Replays. Hope everyone is doing well, and I am ready to get things rolling with Game Pulse by Payoff Pitch. I've been excited and anticipating the release of the full game, and that is now here. And I am going to do a 1972 replay of Roberto Clemente's final season before his tragic death. Also, the season where he got his 3,000th hit. So we're into the season. I've already played the first games of the season, and now we're going to be looking at day 2. That would be April the 16th, 1972. And you can see here, I am going to be playing the game between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets. And game 1, the Pirates won. So we're into the game 2 of this set, and we're going to be jumping right into it and getting into the action between these two teams as we look at Roberto's Clemente's final season before his tragic death by plane crash on a humanitarian mission. So we'll jump right into the game. It's top of the first with the Pirates up to bat. On the mound for the New York Mets is Gary Gentry with a 7-10 record for that season and a 4.01 ERA. Leading off for the Pittsburgh Pirates will be Rennie Stennett. Playing second base. Batting in the second spot will be Al Oliver in center field. And the third spot will be Roberto Clemente. Batting in the cleanup spot in the left field will be Willie Stargell. Batting in the fifth spot, Richie Hebner playing third. Your catcher batting sixth is Manny Sanguillen. And in the seventh spot, first baseman Bob Robertson at first. At shortstop, Jackie Hernandez batting in the eighth spot. And in the ninth spot is your pitcher, Blas, batting with the pitcher hitting card number 9. So we will get into our game here as Gentry has finished his warm-up tosses. And Rennie Stennett stepping to the plate, and we're getting ready to get this season started. Game 2 of the 1972 season. This game between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets. Here's the offering from Gentry. It's going to be a tough 59, and that's going to be a ground ball to third. Fergozzi up with it, fires it over to Cranepool at first for the 5-3 put out, and out number 1. That brings Al Oliver to the plate. Oliver on the season batting at 200. In the real season, he batted 312. So it's obviously early in the season, this game number 2, as Oliver steps up. And I think I'm going to change the way that roll is looking. And I will leave it like it is. Al Oliver to the plate. That's a roll of tough, and this is a glitch that's going to be corrected as the tough roll. You see it briefly rolled as 8, and then it reverts back to snake eyes. That is going to be corrected in the future. You just had to watch quickly as that tough roll, that tough 58 is another ground ball to third. Fergozzi up with it again as it's a hot corner here early as he fires it over. And that'll bring up our featured ball player in this replay, Roberto Clemente. He's batting 500 so far in this early season, but on the season in 72, he batted 312 with 10 home runs. So here's the pitcher's roll, and it's going to be another tough roll, that tough 46, as Clemente continues his hot hitting as he hits a single. He finds a hole for a single. So Clemente on first. With that F stolen base rating, we are not going to be sending him with 2 outs, and Willie Stargell coming to the plate. Stargell with a heavy bat. You can see in his wheelhouse, if he gets a wheelhouse roll, the chances are good against right-handed 1-73 for a home run. So you don't want to serve up a meatball to Willie Stargell. And it's going to be our first defensive check as we flip the fact. You can see here, it's a range check on the shortstop. The shortstop has a rating of B. Range checks B ratings, 1-31, it's going to be a hit. 32-99, it's going to be an out. So that with that roll of 57, it is an out. We flip another fact, and that fact says out. It's just a ground ball too short for a 6-3 put out. And out number 3, Harrelson up with it over to first, and that's our third out with one runner stranded. We go to the middle of the first, scoreless. And on the mound is Steve Blass. Blass with a ERA N72 of 2.49 with a 19-8 record. So a very good season for Blass. But let's get the lineup order for the New York Mets. Leading off, playing short is Bud Harrelson. Playing second base, Ken Boswell, batting in the second spot. In the third spot, in center field, is Tommy Agee. In the fourth spot, batting cleanup, right fielder Rusty Staub. In the fifth spot, playing in left field, Cleon Jones. In the sixth spot, playing third base, is Jim Fergozzi. And in the seventh spot, first baseman Ed Kranepool. And batting in your ninth spot, catcher Jerry Grody. And, of course, in the ninth spot, your pitcher hitting with the pitcher hitting card, number 3. So Steve Blass has had his warm-up tosses as Manny Sanguillen gives him his signal. Bud Harrelson steps in. And here is the pitch. This will be a patient 42, and he walks him. So leadoff walk by Blass. That's not the way you want to start the game off. With the B rating for Harrelson, and I'm rolling for both teams. I have no dog in the fight. I'm just doing this replay. I'll try to call it fairly for both sides. But with that B rating and Sanguillen's arm rating of 3, which is average, we're going to try to send Bud Harrelson as he heads down to first. You can see the chart column B3, the result is very good. We'll make that roll for him to make the steal, and he is safe. So that's a stolen base by Harrelson, and we have a man in scoring position with Ken Boswell at the plate, batting early in this season. He is so far hitless, and so Boswell steps to the plate. Harrelson takes a slight lead off at second, and it's an in-play 76, and that's a fly ball into center field. And that will move Harrelson over with that B running rating. He tagged and moved over. So Harrelson 90 feet from the pay station, and Tommy Agee coming to the plate. Steve Blass in a little bit of trouble here early in inning number 1 as Tommy Agee comes to the plate. Here is the pitch. It is a tough 25, and he struck him out as Tommy Agee goes down swinging for out number 2, a much-needed strikeout for Steve Blass, and that'll bring up Rusty Staub on the season, batted .293 with 9 home runs, so far hitless in this early season. As Staub steps in, here's the pitch from Blass, and this time it's going to be a ballpark against left-handed batters. The wheelhouse is 1-54, and Rusty Staub against right-handed hitters, a 1-40 chance for a home run. If this is 1-54, we'll see a wheelhouse roll, and it is not. It's an in-play roll, and the in-play section of Rusty Staub against right-handed pitching, he has a 1-33 chance for a hit, and that 06 will be a double by Rusty Staub, so the run will score from second. Actually, he was on third, so he would have scored anyway. So that's a RBI scoring double by Rusty Staub as he hits one into the outfield between Stargell and Oliver for the run scoring double. And it's 1-0 Mets here in the bottom of the first. And Cleon Jones coming to the plate with another runner in scoring position. Cleon Jones steps in. Here's the pitch from Blas. It's going to be a tough 29, and he struck him out. Steve Blas, a little angry, got hopped up and blew one by him for out number 3, but not before a run comes across for the Mets. And we go to the second with the New York Mets up 1-0, and Richie Hebner coming to the plate. Hebner, third baseman, batting .250 for the season so far, this early 2-game season, as Hebner steps in. Gentry into his windup and the pitch, and it's going to be a tough 67, grounded too short. Harrelson up with it, fires it over to Cranepole at first for the 6-3 putout, and out number 1. And that brings up the catcher, Manny Sanguillen, batting at the Mendoza line so far, that 200 batting average. He batted .298 in the 72 season as Gentry goes into his windup. It's going to be a patient 28, and that will be a single by Manny Sanguillen as he hits it into the gap, and it's drops in front of Cleon Jones, and Manny Sanguillen safely on as Bob Robertson comes to the plate. Manny Sanguillen with that F rating is not going to be looking to steal bases. Here's the pitch to Robertson. It's going to be another patient roll, that patient 27, and he walks him. So with one out, we have runners on first and second, and Jerry Grody coming to the plate. That's the catcher for the Mets. Jackie Hernandez coming to the plate. Hernandez, shortstop, batted under the Mendoza line as he batted 188. I was thinking I should lay down a bunt here because he's not very good, and his bunt rating is not very good either. So he's just going to swing away. So here's a pitch from Gentry, and it's going to be his ballpark. The ballpark roll for a right-handed batter, 1-39 is a wheelhouse, and it is not. It'll be the in-play rating for Hernandez against a right-handed pitcher. He's got a 1-26 chance for a hit, and that high roll of 81, he just hits it into center field. Agee makes the play, and 2 down. Runner still on first and second, and the pitcher Blas coming to the plate, hitting on that pitcher hitting card of number 9. See if he can get anything done, if he can help his cause. Difficult time for the pitcher to come up, as it's going to be a patient roll, though. And the patient 20, he hits a double. Look at that. On his hitting card, three rolls, 19-21, and he gets a double. And that roll of 20, the pitcher comes through, Blas comes through with a double, and that double, it's a liner into left field, is cut off by the left fielder. Runners advance 2 bases. So Blas does his cause a favor, and we're tied up on an RBI scoring double by the pitcher, Steve Blas. Who would have thought? And now Rennie Stennett coming to the plate. Rennie Stennett, his first time up, grounded to third for the out. As he steps in, Gentry's kicking himself. He can't believe he allowed his counterpart to double in a run, and he's pumped up now. Can he get Stennett as he gets the roll of tough? And he struck him out. He was angry, and he blew the fastball by Stennett for out number 3. But we go to the middle of the second inning, and we're tied up 1-1. And Jim Fregosi coming to the plate. Fregosi in the 72 season batted .232, or is that 52? It's 32. My eyesight's not the best. I got to adjust my bifocals to be able to see that. Blast into his windup, and it's going to be a patient 36, and he walks him. Free pass for Fergosias. That's the second walk issued by Steve Blass, and Ed Cranepole coming to the plate. Cranepole batting .333 in this early season as he faces the offering. Excuse me, let me back up there for a second. I need to check the rating. Yeah, Fergosia's not going anywhere. So here's the pitch to Cranepole. It's going to be a tough 60, and that's a ground ball to third. And we're going to check to see if we can get a double play going here. The double play check is the lowest rating between the pitcher and the batter, which is the batter's double play rating is a 6. So anything lower than a 6, and it'll be double play. And that roll of a snake eye is it's an easy double play turn. That 6-4-3 double play led a 5-4-3, 5-4-3 double play. And that's 2 outs. No runners on the base now. And Jerry Grody coming to the plate. Here's the pitch to Grody. Man, it will be a patient 90. Ground ball too short. Hernandez up with it over to first to Bob Robertson for the 6-3 putout. And we go to the third, tied up 1-1 here in New York. As Gary Gentry eyeing out Oliver, his first time up. As you see, when you can pull it up in the black box to the left at the very bottom, you can see what his last roll was. He got a tough roll and a roll of 58, and he ground ball hit to third for the out for the 5-3 putout. So Oliver coming to the plate. That roll of 4 is a tough 64, and he lifts a fly ball into left field. Cleon Jones settles underneath it. Can of corn for out number 1. And that's going to bring up our featured player here, Roberto Clemente. Clemente, his first time up, drew a tough roll, but that roll of 46, and he singled. So Clemente 1 for 1 on the day. Here's a pitch from Gentry, another tough roll, and that 72 is a ground ball to second. Boswell up with it, 4-3 putout for out number 2. That brings up Pop Stargell. Stargell, his first time up, grounded too short. Here's the pitch to Stargell, and it'll be another tough roll, that tough 33. He struck him out as he got him with the curveball, and Stargell swings and missed for out number 3. And we go to the middle of the third, still 1-1 here in New York. And Gary Gentry coming to the plate. So far in this game, still Steve Blass is in the 2 innings he's pitched, allowed a hit and 2 strikeouts and 2 walks and allowed a run. Gentry steps up. Here's the pitch from Blass to his counterpart. It's an in-play roll, and against right-handed pitching, he's got a 1 in 15 chance for a hit. And that high roll of 97 is just a shallow fly ball hit into left field. Stargell settles underneath it for the can of corn, and out number 1. That brings Bud Harrelson back to the plate. Harrelson steps in. Here's the pitch from Blass. It's an in-play 19, and he singles. So it's a single by Harrelson, and Harrelson will look to run as he looks to steal against Sam Guillen, who has the average arm. Again, it's a very good chance on that B3 chart. And here is the roll, and he is safe. Harrelson safely on second as he steals the base, and Boswell looking to bring Harrelson home as he's in scoring position with 1 out. No chance for a double play as Boswell steps in, and it's going to be a ballpark roll. Again, a left-handed batter is a 154 chance for Wheelhouse, and he does get the Wheelhouse roll. Against right-handed pitching, Boswell has a 1-21 chance for a home run and a 1-45 chance for a hit. And that 75 is just too high as he lifts his fly ball into center field for out number 2, but that will move Harrelson over to third, and that'll bring up Tommy Agee. 0 for 1 on the day as Agee struck out his first time up on that tough roll of 25. Blast looking to repeat that performance. This time it's going to be a defensive check. As we flip the fact, we see it's an error check on the third baseman. His error rating is 4. On the arrow side, the higher your number, the better you are. So you see a error rating of 5, there's only a 1 to 28 chance for an error. As an error rating for a 4, it's a 1 to 34 chance. So 1 to 34, and it is an error. That roll of 43, it will be an out, as it's simply just a ground ball that's fielded nicely at third, or a line out, it says. Hebner makes the play for out number 3, and Harrelson is left stranded on third base, and we go to the 4th, still tied up 1-1 here in New York, as Richie Hebner comes to the plate. Hebner 0 for 1 on the day, and he grounded 2 short his first time up. Hebner steps in, Gentry into his windup. That'll be another defensive check. This time it's going to be an error check on the second baseman, and he has an excellent error rating of 5. So we'll see what happens here, as it is an error because he rolled an 0.5. You see the error rating is 1 to 28. Unfortunately, that error, and you see here on error on the infield player, it's a single plus error. So he actually hit a single, and the error was on the second baseman. However, that played out. So Richie Hebner safely on second with on Boswell to put him in scoring position as Manny Sanguillen steps to plate. Sanguillen 1 for 1 on the day, and he hit a single his first time up. He's getting a tough roll of 41 as a pop-up to first base. Cranepool settles underneath it for the easy out for out number 1, and Hebner stays in place with that easy play at first. And Gentry looking now at Bob Robertson. And this time it's going to be another ballpark roll on the right-handed batter. It's a 1 to 39, and it's wheelhouse, and it will be a wheelhouse. And against right-handed pitching, it's a 1 to 40 chance for Robertson to hit this thing out of here. And he does. As that roll of 18, he serves him up a hanging curveball, and Robertson places it in to the left field seats. And we have a 3-1 game now for Pittsburgh as Bob Robertson hits a 2-run shot here in the top of the 4th. And that'll bring up Jackie Hernandez, who high-fives Robertson as he goes to the dugout, and Hernandez steps in, and Gentry's not too pleased with himself as he rolls a patient, and he walks Hernandez as he's a little shook up after that home run, and he walks the next batter, Hernandez. So we have another runner on with only 1 out here in the 4th. And Steve Blass coming up, and Blass, I think, will just try to lay down a bunt. So he has a bunt rating of C, which is not great. Flip the fact, and he will get the sacrifice hit. So he does bunt Hernandez over. And so a runner in scoring position for Randy Stinnett, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Let's see if he can get something going here in the 4th to bring more runners across, but he gets that tough roll. With that tough roll of 86, he just ground ball too short. Harrelson up with it, fires it over to first for the 6-3 put out. And we go to the middle of the 4th with Pittsburgh up 3-1 after the Bob Robertson 2-run shot in the 4th. And that'll bring Rusty Staub to the plate. Staub on the day hit a double his last time up. See if he can keep that hot hitting up as he gets an in-play roll of 53, which he grounds to third. Hebner up with it over to first for the 5-3 put out, and out number 1. Now to bring up Cleon Jones. Here's the pitch to Jones. And that's going to be a tough 34. He struck him out as he blew one right by Cleon as he swung and missed at the high heat. And that's going to be out number 2. And Jim Fregosi coming to the plate. Fregosi, his first time up, got a base on balls. He got walked. See if he can have a good eye again as he gets an in-play rating of 79, and he just lifts a fly ball into center field. Al Oliver settles underneath it for out number 3, and we go to the 5th. The Pirates up 3-1, and Al Oliver coming to the plate. Oliver 0 for 2 on the day. See if he can get something going here in his season as he gets a defensive check. It's going to be an error rating on the third baseman, who has an error rating of 2. So he's not the best fielder, 1-50 chance for an error. And it will not be that high roll of 95. He makes the play as he fields a ground ball, fires it over to first for the 5-3 put out, and out number 1 as Fregosi makes a good play at third. Roberto Clemente coming to the plate. Clemente 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. He gets an in play, 15, and it's another hit by Clemente as he singles into right field as he is a little late on it, but he drops it in front of Staub in right field, and that brings up Pop Stargell. Stargell looking for the offering. It is a ballpark to Stargell, and if he can get a wheelhouse, I think it might be bad news for Gentry, and he does not. He gets that in-play roll of 58, and that in-play roll of 49 is just a pop-up too short as Harrelson settles underneath it for the easy second out, and Richie Hebner now coming to the plate. Hebner 1 for 2 on the day. Here's a pitch from Gentry. Another ballpark roll. And this will be another in-play roll of that high roll of 66. Falls into that 55-99 range. And he singles, though. And let's see what the runner action is. It's a hard ground into right field or left field. Runner on first advances 1 base plus, depends on his speed. Runner on second scores. So Clemente makes it. And it was because of the 2 outs is the reason he made it. It increased his speed because he was running on contact. And so neither player on the field on the base paths right now runs very well. But Manny Sanguillen hoping to bring Clemente home as he's 90 feet from the pay station. As Sanguillen steps in, here's a pitch from Gentry. It'll be a patient 0-8, and he walks the bases full as now Gentry is in a tight spot because the last time Bob Robertson was up, he hit a 2-run shot. Don't want that happening again. It's going to be a tough roll of 62, and he struck him out to get himself out of the jam as 3 are left stranded as he strikes out Robertson for out number 3, but it's still 3-1 as we go to the middle of the 5th. Steve Blass still pitching, only a 2-hitter going so far. Here's the pitch to Ed Kranepool. It's going to be a tough 0-1, and that 0-1 under a tough, that's going to be a blazer that went by him. It struck him out as Kranepool was expecting something off speed, and he got the corners on him for out number 1, and that'll be the 4th strikeout for Blass. And that brings up Jerry Grote 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch. It's a patient 43, and that will be a single by Grote. And Grote runs well, so he's going to be attempting to steal on Sanguillen. And he's got an excellent chance. So here's the roll. And that 94, he is safe as they are taking advantage of the arm of Sanguillen as Grote is now in scoring position with 1 out, and Gary Gentry stepping to the plate. And it will be an in-play 84, and that's a ground ball too short. And we're going to see what the advancement is going to be. The runner on second will have to hold as Hernandez looks him back and then fires over to first for the 6-3 putout. And that'll leave Grody on second as Bud Harrelson comes to the plate. Harrelson hoping to increase the chances of a comeback as he's 1 for 1 on the day. He walked his first time up and singled his second time up. So Harrelson having a good day. That's going to be an in play 69. This time, though, he will just ground us short as Hernandez scoops it up, fires it over to first for the 6-3 putout, and out number 3. And 1 run, no runs coming in, and 1 left stranded as we go to the 6th inning. And Gary Gentry is now fatigued. So we're going to bring somebody in for him. Let's go with relief pitching for the Mets. We don't want to bring McGraw in yet. So it'll be Frizella. So Danny Frizella coming in. Relief pitcher. ERA so far in the season is 9 with 1 inning pitch. But in the season, he did have 9 saves with a 3.34 ERA. So Hernandez steps in as Frizella goes into a stretch, and the delivery. It's going to be an in play 0-5, and that'll be a leadoff single by Hernandez. And Frizella not getting it done, and that'll bring Blas up. Blas is just going to lay down another bunt as he has that rating of C, and that's just a successful sacrifice bunt as Blas moves a runner over into scoring position, and Tommy Agee coming to the plate. Stennett hoping to get out of his slump as he's 0 for 3 on the day, and that's going to be a wheelhouse. So Stennett against right-handers has got a 1-46 chance for a hit, 1-5 for a home run, and that roll of 11 will be a double by Stennett as he doubles, grounder down the left field line. All runners score. So now it is 4-1 Pittsburgh as Stennett drives in a run, and that'll bring up Al Oliver with Stennett in scoring position. Frizella really choking as he comes in. He gets an in-play roll, that in-play roll of 3, and it is another double as those low rolls are killing him. It's a deep drive off the left field wall. All runners will score. Now Frizella is going to have to take a seat as he's getting lit up. Let's look at all pitchers. See who I can bring in here. Let's bring in Sadecki. Frizella came in and did not get the job done. He got lit up, and it is 5-1 as Ray Sadecki, the lefty, comes up. Clemente having a good day. It's 2 for 3. And here's the pitch to Clemente, and it's going to be another defensive check. Error check on the shortstop, who is a 3. So he's middle of the road, 1-42 chance, and this will be an error. That roll of 97, however, it is not. And that out, it's just grounded too short. Harrelson makes the play for out number 2, and Al Oliver still at second as Willie Stargell comes to the plate. Don't offer up a meatball to him. It's going to be a patient roll. That patient 41, however, is a single. Let's see what the runner action is. Opposite field liner. Runner on first advances a base. Runners advance 1 base. So it will not bring Oliver home. He runs poorly anyhow as Stargell is on first. Runners on the corner for Richie Hebner as Sadecki hopes to pitch himself out of this jam. It's going to be another defensive check on the pitcher. His error rating is a 2, so it's a 1-50 chance that he boots it, and he does. It's an error, and that error on the pitcher is a 1-base error, so another run comes across, and it's now 6-1 as runners now on first and second, and Manny Sanguin coming back to the plate, 1 for 2 on the day, Here's the offering from Sadecki. It's going to be an in-play roll of 65, and that'll just be a fly ball into right field. Rusty Staub takes it, but not before 3 runs come across for a 6-1 to lead here in the bottom of the 6th. And Blass feeling good about his chances as Ken Boswell comes to the plate. And it'll be an in-play 12, and Boswell leads off with a single, but he won't be running with that D rating. Agee stepping to the plate. Here's the pitch to Agee. It's going to be an in-play 23, and that is another single. It's a line drive into center field, advancing Boswell 2 seconds. So 2 hits leading off here in the bottom of the 6th, and Rusty Staub coming to the plate with runners on first and second. It's going to be a tough 0-4, and he strikes him out. I think I'm going to bring the infield in. No, for some reason I can't do that. Patient 79, and that's just going to be a fly ball into center field. Boswell tagged up and went over to third. So with 2 outs now, runners on the corners, and Fregosi coming to the plate. That's too early to pinch hit. It's going to be a tough 39, and he strikes him out as Blass gets his 6th K of the game and pitches himself out of that bind. And we go to the 7th with Pittsburgh up 6-1, and Sadecki on the mound, looking to continue not allowing any more runs to come across as Bob Robertson comes to the plate. And that's going to be a tough 17, and he struck him out as Sadecki got him with the off-speed pitch, and that'll bring up Jackie Hernandez with 1 down. Sadecki goes into his windup. It'll be an in-play 15, and Hernandez singles, as Hernandez has had a pretty good day. He's 2 for 3 on the day. And that's going to bring up Steve. This time looks to swing away, as he's already doubled once in the game. What's the harm? But he gets that tough roll, and that tough 0-4. He struck him out as Sadecki blew one by Blass for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Rennie Stennett as runner on first. Here's the pitch. It's going to be an in-play 0-2, and that's going to be a double by Stennett as Stennett's bat suddenly got hot. He's got a runner on first, and it's drive down the line. Runner advances 2 bases, so Hernandez will go all the way home because of his speed and it being 2 outs. So that was a run-scoring double by Stennett, and it's now 7-1 as the Pirates are laying it on the Mets here in these middle innings. And Sadecki looks to get out of the inning as he gets a tough roll against Al Oliver, and that 85 is just a ground ball to second. So another run comes across as the inning ends, but we go to the middle of the 7th, the bottom of the 7th, and take me out to the ball game plays. But the Pirates are up 7-1 after bringing another run across in the top of the 7th. And now Ed Kranepool coming to the plate, just hoping to get something going. As here's the pitch from Blass, and it's a patient 40, and he does. Kranepool leads off with a single, and he'll be looking to steal, testing Sanguin's arm once again. And he is safe. I think that's the 4th stolen base by the Mets, but it has done nothing for them as Grody comes up. It'll be a patient 11, and it is a walk. So now here in the bottom of the 7th, we got runners on first and second with no outs, and Sadecki coming to the plate. He will not be going back. He will not be hitting, not in this situation. We're going to bring in Milner to hit for Sadecki. See how easy it is to bring in a pitch hitter, as Milner is now no longer in the game. Milner in the game as Sadecki takes a seat. Milner with runners on first and second, no outs. And here's the pitch to Milner. It's going to be a tough 0-1. What a roll for Milner to get. No chance as he blew it by him for out number one as Milner comes in and goes down swinging for out number one. That's going to bring Bud Harrelson back to the plate, 1-for-2 on the day. And here is the pitch. It's going to be another tough roll of 65. It's grounded too short. We'll see what they do with it. Will it be a double play? With the batter's rating of 6, anything 6 and under, and it'll be a double play. And that roll of 5, they double them up. And that's, as Kurt Berglund would say, that's a rally-killing, soul-crushing double play and ending double play. And we go to the 8th with Pittsburgh up 7-1. And I need a pitcher. And I don't want to bring Tug McGraw in down 7-1. Yeah, why not? Let's bring him in. Tug McGraw into the game, trailing. So he's looking to just manage the game as Clemente comes in 2-for-4 on the day. Clemente with the pitch from McGraw. And that's going to be a ballpark against a right-handed batter, 1-39. And that roll of 88 of this being an in play. That roll of 24 for Clemente, and he will single against left-handed pitching. Clemente having a great day as Willie Stargell comes back to the plate, 1-for-4 on the day. McGraw pitching to Stargell, and it's going to be a patient 54, and that's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher. Let's see if they can turn 2, as it's going to be a roll under 6. And no double play, but they get the lead runner on that fielder's choice. A 1-4 put out. McGraw to Boswell for out number 1. And Stargell now on first. Richie Hebner stepping in. The pitch from McGraw is a patient 85, and that'll be a ground ball to second. And the double play check this time again is a roll of under 6, and it'll be a double play. And again, it'll be a fielder's choice as Stargell is put out for 6. And Hebner on first as Manny Sanguin steps in. Sanguin with the offering. It's going to be a patient 48, and he just lines it right at the second baseman as Boswell snags it out of the air for out number 3. And we're going to the bottom of the 8th. Blast still on the mound as Boswell steps in. Boswell with a 211 average. We'll bring a pinch hitter in for him. See if we can bring in a left-handed hitter. Bring in Dave Marshall since he's a lefty. And he has a 250 batting average. Let's see as he comes in for Boswell. Here's the offering. It's going to be an in play 75, and he just grounds it to short, gets nothing done as Hernandez makes the play easily over to first for the 6-3 put out. That's going to bring up Tommy Agee. Here's a pitch to Agee. It will be a ballpark roll with a right-handed batter. That's going to be a 1-39 roll for ballpark. It will not. It'll be an in-play roll. Agee's in-play rating is 1-29, and he'll get a hit. That 1-20, he will single as Agee gets on with 1 out, and Rusty Staub coming to the plate. Here's the pitch to Staub. It's another ballpark roll, and it'll be another in-play roll. Staub 1-33, and it'll be a hit. And that 42, it'll just be a pop-up to third base for the 5-3 put out. For a 5 put out. And Cleon Jones coming up. Jones 0-for-3 on the day. But we'll leave him in, let him swing away. It's going to be an in-play 26. And that was a good call as he singles. And that's going to take Agee all the way over to third. So runner is on the corner now with 2 outs, and Blast looking to pitch his way out of the inning as he gets a tough roll against Pergozzi. Pergozzi struck out that low roll of 14 when it got anybody. So Blast pumped up, blew one by him for out number 3. And we go to the 9th. 7-1. Need a second baseman. There we go. As Ted Martinez comes in. McGraw still on the mound as Bob Robertson steps up. It's going to be a tough 31, and he struck him out as McGraw looks to keep the score where it's at, as the chances are slim for the Mets as McGraw goes into this windup. Hernandez, with that tough roll of 7 in the 71, grounds it to second. Martinez makes the play over to first for the 4-3 putout and out number 2. And Steve Blass coming to the plate. And with a 7-1 lead, we're going to try to see if we can get a complete game for Blass as he looks to swing away with that tough roll. He flew out to left field. At least he didn't strike out. Flew out to Cleon Jones for out number 3. But we go to the bottom of the ninth. 7-1, New York trailing as Blass looks to close out this game. Cranepool steps up. Here's the pitch. It's an in play, 80, and that's a deep fly ball into center field. Al Oliver settles underneath it for out number 1. That's going to bring up Jerry Grody. Grody on the season batted .210. Now let's bring a pitch hitter in for him. Grody does not swing a very decent bat. Let's bring in Jim Beauchamp. See what he can do. As he batted .242 on the season, a little better chance, but not much better. 1 out. Beauchamp steps in. Blass with the pitch. It's a tough 89, and it's just a ground ball too short. Hernandez up it over to first for the 60 putout and out number 2. And Tug McGraw coming to the plate. McGraw, of course, won't be hitting as we bring in another pinch hitter, and that's going to be Don Hahn. So Hahn steps in. I don't think he's a good option, but he was the only one I had. He's a 162 hitter. Here's the pitch. It's a tough 39, and he struck him out as Don Hahn goes down, and that is our ball game as Steve Blass pitches a complete game. He is our MVP of the game as he pitched 9 complete innings, allowing 8 hits, 1 run, and that 1 run earned, and he struck out 9 while walking 3. So that's going to end our game. And so far in this season replay, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 2-0 and with a win streak of 2. And fun play time, and I enjoyed that as playing this season for Roberto Clemente, and Clemente had a great game. It was good to see that, and it was just fun playing this game. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you'll have a great day. Have a great Sunday.